Hey guys, this is Inversify here, and I'm bringing you my Week 3 match against Cherrymander and Zion Zards, who's definitely a very great player. He's very intimidated by the team, especially by Aegislash, because I really don't like Aegislash, and it made me sad because I can't really bring Mega Medicham against an Aegislash. It's just really not the way things work. It's just But anyways, so my team I've brought. Actually, I should figure I should show the matchup first. So this is my team, and this is their team. So, I was very afraid of the Aegislash, also afraid of the Blastoise because it was annoying, and I was somewhat afraid of the Salazzle, just because I feel like I don't really have great answers to fire types, just in general on my team. Um, I think fire is definitely a decently big weakness that my team has. Fire ground coverage is pretty brutal. But anyways, back to the replay. I brought a web setting Masquerain, um, Stealth Rocks, and 3 attacks. Mamoswine, Nasty Plot, Thundurus, which is my win con. Calm Mind, Clef, which is my secondary win con in case this thing somehow dies. Focus Sash, Alakazam, and Screens, Virizion, just to help me set up with my win cons, because I didn't really know what else I wanted to bring. I kind of was debating about kind of a very Heat Empoleon set, but decided against it because it just wasn't that good. But anyways, I'm going to lead off with my Masquerain, hoping to get up webs. They really only have 2 good hazard movers on their team, it being Zapdos and Blastoise. And when I saw this, I predicted Zapdos. I told myself if Zapdos comes, it's going to be the Defogger, because Blastoise kind of has 4 moveset syndrome against my team. It wants Ice Beam for Thundurus, obviously wants Stab. It wants a Steel move, maybe Iron Tail or Flash Cannon to hit Clefable, and it also wants a fighting move so that way it can hit Empoleon, because otherwise it gets just walled by Empoleon. So I was thinking if it has Rapid Spin, it's giving up one of those moves, and it is like, so I really just expected Zapdos to be the only hazard clearer, because you really only need one. Even though my team does have a lot of hazards, I expected it to be a Zapdos, so it could free up a Blastoise move slot. So I'm going to lead off with my Masquerain, as replays are buggy. Classic. They lead off with Zapdos anyway, and that's like the worst lead. Oh my goodness. So yeah, they're going to lead off with Zapdos, and I'm going to go straight into my Mamoswine, expecting a Thunderbolt, because it's really a no drawback play for them. Just it'll kill me if I don't have a Sash, which I do. But I'm not in a really good position to do anything here, so I'm just gonna switch into my Mamoswine, expecting the Thunderbolt, because it just makes sense as a play, and they do go for it, and then they reveal the speedy U-turn, and the U-turn out, as I just decide to set up my rocks. So now that Blastoise is in, I'm expecting it to want to go for a water move here, because at this point I don't think it's gonna have any kind of hazard clearing. So I'm going to go into my Virizion, as they do reveal the Rapid Spin. So I was like, dang, I guessed wrong. Like, whatever, maybe Zapdos is like 4 attacks, or U-turn, like Roost, and then like some kind of phasing move maybe, which would kind of make sense against my team. Maybe trying to like take a hit from Thundurus or something, and then phase it out with like a Roar. So I'm going to make a hard double back into my Mamoswine, expecting them to switch into their Zapdos, because Zapdos takes on most Virizion sets very comfortably, and as that is what they will do, so they will just U-turn out again. And I'll set up my rocks again, and it's kind of a little rinse repeat. So I'm going to go back to my Virizion, and they're going to Scald this time. So hopefully, alright, here I was predicting maybe the Zapdos to come in again, and so I clicked Toxic, hoping it would, you know, I was just hoping I could catch the Zapdos coming in and then not have to worry about it. But they do go into the Aegislash, which is a good play by them. And now here, Aegislash like hard walls most Virizion sets because it doesn't even get anything to hit it like neutrally. Yeah, thanks for that busted ass typing. So I'm gonna click the taunt, expecting them to go for an SD perhaps, because I really don't want them setting up an SD on my team. It'll just really hurt. But instead, they do decide to go for the Iron Head straight up, and they had to crit and kill me. And this part, it's like, I'm not sure if this mattered really, because they do have Shadow Sneak, so it really depends on the spread that they have. So I'm thinking it is a more offensive Aegislash, because it reveals later in the game that it's a Sword Stance set. But, you know, if it was max attack, I think it may not have mattered. Anyways, I went for taunt there because I expected SD, and if they did click SD, then I could get up a reflect, and I'd probably be 2-hit KO'd by Iron Head, I believe. And so I could let it reflect and light screen, and then go into Thundurus from there, and what's it called? Set up a nasty pot and hopefully just win, because rocks are still up, which is nice that they didn't have the chance to remove them. But the Iron Head kind of sucks. Yeah, so they're gonna stay in as a nasty pot, which is a good move. Want to get some chip damage and not let me just do this for free, as they are gonna Shadow Sneak. I'm not really sure why they shadow. I guess that was the hardest move to hit me. Probably like Sneak, Sword, Sacred Sword, and like Iron Head. But then anyways, they're going to sack their Haxorus, and now Mienshao comes in, and I thought this thing would be Scarfed because it just kind of makes sense. Otherwise, the team that they brought is like really weak to Thundurus. So I expected this to be Scarf, and I really wanted to get my webs up, and I was sad that I couldn't. So I was like, oh well, it's Scarf, you know, maybe I'll get the chance to at least like attack, even if I don't get a nasty plot up, and maybe clean with Thundurus, because I'm fully expecting this thing to be Scarf. Because it just doesn't make any sense to me why this wouldn't be Scarfed, but apparently it's not Scarfed. They go for the fake out, and I'm just like, I was really confused by that. But I guess it's good prep for them. So yeah, I'm just gonna Ice Shard to just get damage off before I die, and now I can go into my Masquerain. And here, I know either Zapdos or Blastoise could switch on me, and both would feel pretty comfortable. But since Blastoise already revealed Rapid Spin, and I didn't think Zapdos would have the Hazard Clearing, I went for the Energy Ball this turn. Because while Zapdos does make more sense as a like switch into Masquerain, because it resists both of its stabs, I thought that they wouldn't bring double hazard removal, and also the way I was playing my Masquerain, it was very obvious that I was a web set and not like a Quiver Dance set, at least in my mind. So I did click the Energy Ball this turn, and it's going to do absolutely nothing to this Zapdos, as expected, and they're just going to click Defog. So now I'm realizing they have 2 hazard removers, and I'm like pretty boned. Like, just bringing webs against a double hazard clearing team is really just unfortunate. But you know, good prep for them. They kind of predicted what I was going to bring and played around that, and that's definitely a lot of props to them. So I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam here, and now I see my chance that I can get up webs and sack Masquerain. So pretty much what I'm going to do is, this is a very obvious Roost turn for them, because they would die to Ice Beam, and they wouldn't be able to kill me because they assume I have Sash. So if I go for a Mud Shot, um, which if you didn't know, because it's kind of an uncommon move, it's basically Icy Wind, except it's a ground type move. It's 55 base power, 95% accuracy, and except it's ground type move. And so I'll hit it super effectively, deal a nice chunk of damage, and also it lowers the speed, which is the most important part, because then I'll outspeed it. And even if they keep spamming Thunderbolt, as long as I don't get paralyzed, I will be able to set up my webs before I die. So that is the really nice part about Mud Shot, and also not really the reason I ran it. I kind of ran it for that, but more I ran it for Salazzle, because I think, I don't know, I could have just run Hydro Pump, but I wanted to run Mud Shot. Oh yeah, also for Aegislash, so I could touch that thing, because like Aegislash has too many resistances, man. It resists like over half the types. Your fucking broken ass Mon. But anyways, I'm going to go for the Mud Shot here. They do click Roost, but unfortunately I am going to miss the Mud Shot, which is just really unfortunate. It just, it's kind of a backbreaker there. But I'm thinking I'm not out of it yet. I'm just going to Ice Beam here just to get damage. They're going to U-turn so that Zapdos isn't in anymore, which is a smart play. So anyways, I'm going to go into my Thundurus and click my Z Dark Pulse and hope that it kills this thing, but it doesn't. It barely survives with 13%, and they are going to reveal that Swords Dance and Shadow Sneak me to death. Whew. Anyways, now I'm going to go into my Alakazam, and I'll be able to reliably revenge kill this. Doesn't get any priority multi-hit moves, of which there's one, Water Shuriken. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to die to that Fake Out, and now I'm still thinking I can win. If I kill this thing, I know it's going to have Poison Jab, but Poison Jab's going to do about half to me, because I calced it. So Poison Jab does about half to me, and if Blastoise doesn't have a Steel move, then I feel like I can win with a Calm Mind Clefable here. So they're going to click the Poison Jab. It just makes sense. I'm going to click the Moonblast to take this thing out, because I could theoretically heal on this thing, but there's really no point in stalling it out unless I'm thinking it's like SD and try to catch it with a Moonblast on the SD, which is like, I'm not going to do that. Also, wow, fucking spoiler. But anyways, so yeah, I'm just gonna Moonblast them right away. Maybe I should have like done one Soft Boil just to see if they had SD, because that would have been. I mean, if they did have SD and I caught him on the SD, then I would have won. Yeah, unless like there was some random Meloetta set that beat me, or like I don't even know, or like a crit. That's really the only thing I can think of that would beat me. But anyways, it's all for naught. They had the Flash Cannon on their Blastoise, and yeah, I'm gonna lose. So, you know, I think you can file this with week 3 or week 1, in that both games was like I was playing people that are better than me, so I'm not super salty that I lost, but it feels like I wouldn't necessarily have won if the hacks had not happened. And either game, I wasn't like, oh, if this didn't happen, I 100% won. But both games, it was more like, if this didn't happen, like the hacks just basically threw my chances of winning down to almost 0. It's like, so it's not like it went from like 100 to 0, but maybe went from like 50 to 0. And so it's like, it's not like I couldn't be like, oh, I should be 3-0 right now, because I probably would have lost at least one of those games. But you know, it just sucks to like lose your win cons because of, not really my win con. I mean, kind of in the first game, but I don't know. Anyways, I'm just hoping that this trend will stop right here. And I'm also hoping that I can get back up to 500 next week. So stay tuned if you want to see if I do. So yeah, anyways, I will see you guys later.